The first thing to do when you create a HomeZada professional account is to upload your photo, your broker logo, and all your contact information as part of your online profile and your online branding ad that will be displayed to clients. If you go to the upper left-hand corner, this is where you're going to be creating all the properties for all the properties that you're managing as it relates to listings. So let's go to an example here called 1904 Larkin Way, Roseville. And you can see here we've got some basic information as it relates to the address, the bedrooms, bathrooms, and the square footage. But we have in the center here a series of tabs where you can upload multiple photos of the particular property in terms of the exterior photos from different angles. You can also then go to the Files and Documents and Video tab. This is where you can upload unlimited documents about that particular property that you want to use in your marketing efforts. And you can also embed videos that may be hosted at YouTube for perhaps either a neighborhood video or even a dedicated video that you might have for this particular property. But you can then now go into enter the property, and on the left-hand side of the screen, you start to see all the different rooms in the particular home that you can customize and add as you wish. And then in the center of the screen, you start to see all the different thumbnail photos of all the different rooms in the particular home. You can obviously upload these photos in batch and tag them. And then we go to an example here of the kitchen. You can see here that even the kitchen at the space level can have multiple photos from different angles, because we know consumers like to see multiple photos from different angles of different rooms in the house. You can start to create some descriptive text to market that particular room in the house. And then if you go back to the individual items, start below that, you start to see all the home's finishes and appliances that you can start to highlight as part of your online marketing of that particular house. Now, HomeZada creates a lot of these items for you when you create a blank property, so you don't have to key in all the common information. All you really have to do is bulk upload photos and then tag them to the corresponding room and particular item. If I click into the dishwasher, you can start to see here, you can identify the brand and the manufacturer. You can even highlight it if you want. And even items can have multiple photos, and you can even upload other documents such as perhaps even owner's manuals for appliances. If you go to the maintenance tab, HomeZada automatically pre-populates a common home maintenance schedule for all these properties of common things that need to get done on a seasonal basis throughout the year. This is a great reminder for homeowners over what needs to get done to maintain that particular house, and you can add, edit, and delete to make these specific to any property. If that property has also undergone some home improvement projects, you can easily create the home improvement projects that have been done on that particular property. For instance, here the bathroom remodel. Again, same concept. You can upload multiple photos and documents. If there's before and after photos that perhaps the seller has, you can use that to actually highlight the projects. When you're actually ready to publish this Zada listing, you go to the for sale menu here and you enter in the status, the price, and the description. You can link into MLSs or other sites, and then go to the left-hand nav here and hit publish your Zada listing. And then all you do is push that blue button, and then what HomeZada does is make that public as a Zada listing on our website. So to give you an idea of what that looks like, I'll switch to this tab. You can now see we've got the address and the sale price. We've got the main property photo. We've got all the property photos up at the top that the user can obviously scroll through. You got a map. You've got the agents, listing agents, contact information, and a contact form. And now down below that, you start to see all the individual rooms in terms of thumbnails that are highlighted for the user to see all the particular rooms in the house. And you look on the right-hand side is where you see the embedded videos, and then you've got the individual documents that you wanted to highlight with the particular home. And now the public can now drill into every one of these rooms and start to look at the individual fixed assets that you want to highlight. Again, multiple angles of the kitchen from different viewpoints. But then as you scroll farther down, you start to see the detailed photos of the cabinets, the cooktops, the countertops, the dishwasher. It's entirely up to you over what fixed assets you actually want to highlight in virtually every room in the house. And then if we scroll back up at the top, you can click on the Maintenance and Projects tab. Just like we saw in the administration utility, here's where the highlighted completed projects show up. And then down below that, you can start to see where we're displaying to the user what the proposed maintenance schedule is for that particular home. Now, from a promotional perspective, you can share this with just about any of the common virtual social networks that will post this out in a summary portion on those. We also give you the ability to basically print out what we call a ZADA listing flyer, which is basically a formatted piece of paper that again shows the agent's branding information, some thumbnails, but then what's most important is it gives you a QR code and a short URL that actually drives people back to that detailed ZADA listing. If I go back to the HomeZada Professional and go back to my property list, now what I also wanted to do is show you the ZADA listings, which is kind of a dashboard, which starts to show you when you actually published it, what the list price is. But while the house is for sale, what's probably most interesting is we also give you a dashboard about the web traffic, how many unique visitors, total page views, total time per visit, and how many leads were actually generated from that online particular form. When the home actually sells, all you need to do is go back into the home and go back to the for sale menu. And let's say this home has been sold to somebody else. Now you want to go to the lower left-hand corner and hit copy and transfer the ZADA listing to the new buyer. Now with my sample here, I already did that, but essentially what you would see here is all you do is enter in the buyer's email address and you hit copy and transfer, and HomeZada creates a complete digital copy of all those photos and documents and creates a consumer account for the new buyers to manage the home moving forward. And to give you a preview of what that looks like, this is what that same property looks like that's been transferred to our sample customer here called Stephanie Aragon. And again, they see the dashboard of information. And from an agent's perspective, every time they log in to manage the house moving forward, they're constantly reminded of the agent's information in the upper right-hand corner. And then if I start to drill in, you're going to start to see the same exact photos that they can use now for insurance purposes. They get a copy of all those electronic documents that were shared during the process, and same concept. Now they can start to see all of the photos about the fixed assets, but now the consumer can start to use this to manage their personal possessions as it relates to a home inventory for insurance purposes. If the consumer goes to the maintenance tab, there's all those checklists, and the system has automatically created all the to-dos that's going to remind them of all those maintenance tasks that need to get done. The consumer can now start to manage their particular projects, so the system has lots of templates for this new user. Maybe they want to do some garage upgrades, and maybe they want to do a kitchen remodel. They can start to use this tool to actually plan and manage their home improvement projects themselves. So thank you for your time, and hope you enjoyed the demonstration of the HomeZada platform for real estate agents.